So the reason why you're not profitable is because your character doesn't deserve it. And you haven't turned into the person who actually is worthy of becoming profitable at all. Think about it this way. You're going into day trading, which is where 95% of people fail. And those 5%, we have maybe 4% who actually make some money. And then we have the 1% who does this for real. And do you even realize how insane it is to become better than 95% of people? Do you realize the level of insanity you have to operate at mentally, physically, spiritually in order to even be close to that level? Yet most people think that this is going to just be, you just have to learn how to trade. No, you have to completely transform everything about yourself, about your traumas, about every weakness that you have in your mind. All of that stuff, you have to deal with that. You have to work through that. Before you do that, you will never become profitable. That's what trading is. So you can have all the technicals, you can have everything, but you will never succeed. Because do you know how many decisions you have to make under pressure? Even just when you go into the market, you have to identify, is this good enough on higher time frames? Then you have to drop down on lower time frames. And you have to identify, is this a good enough confirmation on lower time frames? And a lot of times it's not exactly what you've been looking at in backtesting. The market isn't identical, especially on lower time frames, and you have to make a decision there and then. All of that is under pressure. And it seems simple, but it's not. And then you have to decide exactly where you're going to enter. Should you wait for a pullback? Where should you take your stop loss? When should you go break even? All of this stuff. And that's where a lot of people just slip up because they can't handle that pressure live. You have to make so many decisions there and then on the go. And that's where your true character is actually revealed. The truth is, you have no discipline inside or outside of the charts at all. And you think that if you have no discipline in your life in general or outside of the charts, that you're suddenly going to go into the charts and be super disciplined and never make impulsive or emotional decisions. Majority of you just go out based on how you feel. You take choices based on how you feel there and then. And that's exactly what you're going to do in the market as well. Because if you look at it from an outside third person perspective, and let's say you would look at another person who is not disciplined at all. They don't apply discipline in their life. Like, discipline is a foreign word to them. Like, and then you watch them trade or gamble or whatever, and you see that they're getting excited. How would you look at that person? You would be disgusted and you would be like, oh my God, is it possible? That's what you're doing as well. If you would record yourself, you're going into the charts, you have no discipline, you enter on a bad setup, you enter too early, you revenge trade, and you're looking like a complete moron and you don't realize it yourself. If you would look at that person from the outside, you would think, this person isn't special. This person doesn't, as a character, as a person, he doesn't deserve to achieve anything in these markets. And I hope this person fails because that's what this person deserves. And you're putting yourself in that exact same category as well, because you just go into the markets, you take a setup that you shouldn't be taking, but because you care about yourself, you feel like you deserve this setup because it's Wednesday and you haven't had any setups this week. You feel like you deserve this. But if you would look at another person that you don't know and you don't care, you don't care about their success, it doesn't bother you, you don't think about that, and they're like, I need a setup today, and they enter on a bad setup that they know they shouldn't be taking, and you see that they're getting emotional, you would think to yourself, what a complete idiot, right? And then they get stopped out and they get frustrated, and you would think, I don't feel bad for them. But to yourself, you think, I deserve this setup. And even if you win, you would look at that other person and think, what a complete moron, right? Because he didn't deserve to win, and he's going to lose eventually either way. The good news is that the standard in general isn't that high, because if you look at majority of people, they don't have any discipline. And they're probably not working as hard as you are either way. So in order to beat those 95% of people, it's not that hard. You've probably beaten like 80% of them already, but we still have that 15% left to go, and that's when it's going to be more difficult, because that's when you actually have to sacrifice things. That's when you actually have to like do things that aren't that comfortable. But we don't stop there. We want to reach the 1%, like those 4% to make some payouts here and there and do this as a hobby. We don't care about them. We want to reach the 1%. And that's when you have to dig deep within yourself and work on every single mental weakness that you ever have. And majority of people, they backtest for a lot of hours, 10 hours, but they don't work on those weaknesses. And that's why, like, I hate to see people work that hard and not achieve anything, because let's just be honest, if you don't understand yourself, you can understand the market, but it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you're doing this as a human being who has feelings, who has emotions, and if you don't understand yourself, you will never achieve anything. And that's why when you work on these things, you're going to run laps around everyone else. Everyone else is going to be like complaining about bad market conditions a week, and you're going to be like, there was no bad market conditions. Like, I didn't trade when there was no good setups, and then I took a setup and that's it. Like, that's the truth. But majority of people can't even do that. And one last thing is that I want everyone who's watching this, stop like caring about other people making money in this industry. Like, stop glazing other traders, like who bought a new car, or like, I don't care about any of that stuff. Like, I don't care. It only shows me what's possible, but I don't care about anyone else. If they're older than me, younger than me, making profit in this game. And people think, like, people always try to, it's the same like in the fitness industry when we were younger, and like people made these exposed videos like, this person is natural, like all this bullshit. Like, who cares? It's the same in trading. This person is a fake trading guru. This person doesn't make that much in trading. He sells courses, or he made it from crypto or another business. Like, stop glazing other people. Stop caring about other people. Care about your own journey. I don't care about any other guy making profits in trading. Why should I care about that? Focus on yourself. Maybe he actually put in the work. Maybe he actually deserves making those profits, but you shouldn't care at all, because you don't know. The only thing you know is, do you deserve it? That's what matters here. And if you've come this far into the video, drop a comment and just write about how you're going to improve as a trader, because journaling, writing down, one thing trading has taught me is that changes everything. As soon as you have an issue or a problem and you start writing it down, it disappears. Funny how that works. Good luck, guys. See you in the next video.